For me, looking at a blank DAW session when I open up my DAW can be pretty daunting because I have no idea sometimes what I want to create. I have no idea where to even start. So to help my workflow, and sometimes as a way to prevent writer's block, I like to use markers in my DAW to basically mark up the song before I even start anything. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is create some markers. By the way, you can do this in any program. It's not just Ableton. You can do whatever you want. So I'm gonna create a start marker. And the first thing to realize is that I put a few measures past, and that's just so I have some buffer room if I want to add in a tail in or some sort of sound effect to start the beginning of the song. So probably the hardest part next is to find out where you should put your end marker, because that designates how long you want your song to be. So let's set up an end marker, and we'll rename this right here as end. And I'll make my song 3 minutes. I'll just decide that right now. And the great thing about that is by knowing how long our song is before we even start it, emotionally, we can already figure out how we want our song to go and how we want to shape it. That's very important. So now what we can do is add in all of our song structure before we even start writing. I already have an idea of how I want my song to go. So I'll just start adding markers in as I go. So I'll add in a groove, or maybe, actually, I'll have my start be the groove, and then maybe, let's say I want to have a build up. So I want 8 bars of a startup section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here you go. Okay. And we'll have a groove here. For most standard EDM music, usually there's some sort of intro drum groove section just for a nice transition when you're DJing at least. So I'll have 8-bar grooves. Maybe I'll want my build now to be 16 bars. So I'll make it right here, 29. I'll set that. And now I'll have my drop. So already, just by starting my song with just markers, I already have a clear emotional vision of where I want my song to go. And the best part about this is I can change this whenever I want to. I can, say I want my build to be only 8 bars, and I want my groove to be 16, and then whatever I want it to be. So I'll have my drop be, another 16 bars. I'll add another marker, and I'll bring this to as the breakdown. So that's basically it for the technique itself. I'll show you now in a different session of a finished track I've done that shows this technique. So this is the completed session from my Super Smash Bros. Melee track that I did for my Smooth the Groove remix album. You can see here that I have all the markers as I described earlier. My groove marker, build up, drop marker, a variation marker for my drop, and I have this thing called Bring It Back, which is basically my producer organization way of saying that I have enough instruments, enough sounds, enough content that I've already created that I can now reuse it and rearrange it into a way that makes it fill the rest of the track for the 3 minutes or whatever I want. So as I did as such, it's mostly just a lot of Control-Cing and editing into my drop and my variation again and an outro. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts about this technique, or if you have your own ideas of how to improve your workflow, please feel free to post them down below. And thanks for watching.